So what? Maybe this is the second installment of the idiot sport bike rider. Rides the. So we're riding the new Victory Octane. Yeah, idiot sport bike rider rides Cruisers 2016. I'm also always the last one to get all my gear on. Yeah, because I'm an idiot sport bike rider who wears gear and not these like half helmets and no fucking, no fucking nothing. Key. This is kind of nice. This is liquid cooled. They said it was like 103 horsepower, 104 horsepower, my apologies, and definitely a much simpler design. This one's got, like, the clutch engagement on this one's real nice too. It's right away, it's like engages right away. That's kind of nice, I like that. I already can't balance this bike. Well, the brakes feel really solid, the clutch feels really solid on this bike. The RPM is a digital readout. That's kind of weird. This bike's actually got some power too. This was a last minute choice for us here for a bike to ride, but so far I'm pretty impressed with this bike. It feels like it has good power for being the type of cruiser that it is. I guess you could say it's kind of there's like a smaller cruiser. I mean, it's I don't know, there's not really a lot of cruiser genres, but given the fact that it's got a little over 100 horsepower, it does feel somewhat compact, which is really nice. So it's a good amount of power for the package. Sounds good. Sounds good as well. It's got a decent sound. Not a big fan of the digital RPM gauge. I would almost rather the RPMs be analog and the speed be digital. But I mean, you've got a lot of really compact features. You got a gear indicator, which is nice. So, and you still have, and everything's nice and simple. And I'm starting to find that after, especially today with some of the bikes we've ridden, simplicity really is the key. The seat's not too bad. It is a little uncomfortable, but I think it might just be how I'm sitting in it. Peg position feels very normal, but I can say that the lack of a windscreen, I mean, you got like a small one, but I think a lack of a windscreen could potentially be an issue for long highway rides. The brakes are really solid on this bike. It's got good torque in 6th gear though. I mean, I was able to pull away without any issue. And you even get waved at by cruisers. I mean, that's like a double benefit right there. Transmission's okay. This one's a little bit more precise. It's got a little bit more. It's got more confidence in the clicks. I feel like I can move through it relatively quickly. I like the way the clutch is adjusted. I like my clutch engagement right away, mostly because I know that as soon as I pull the clutch in, there's a mechanical action that takes place. And so the times when I might be a little lazy on the clutch, even pulling it in 50% is usually good enough for a shift. So, I mean, obviously you can adjust it any way you want. You can adjust the free play on the clutch to be however you need it to be, but a little bit of a tighter engagement is perfectly fine with me. I like that. Low speed balance is pretty decent. Decent amount of confidence with low speed stuff, because you got the bars are kind of you're kind of sitting far back, and so the bar position is very different for me, even from a cruiser perspective. It's sort of oddly shaped. It's like V-shaped back towards me. Mirrors are decent too. The mirrors are actually pretty usable. I'm not staring at my shoulders at all. Suspension is definitely on the stiffer side for a cruiser. which is kind of nice because it probably means that you're probably able to handle some corners with it a little bit better. Maybe an extra passenger, and of course the sport bike riders don't wave at you. This is a nice bike. I think what's the price tag on this is $10,400, so it's a little bit more expensive. For I don't think you could really consider this. I mean, I guess it could be an entry-level cruiser. Highway cruising doesn't seem too bad. I don't know how the wind buffeting would be at a faster speed. I think this is a great bike. I'm obviously not a cruiser person if you watch this channel, but it's got good power and it makes good noises, and it seems to be fairly easy to ride. It's very simple, you know, so if you're looking to buy, like, I would say, even being, you know, somewhat of a newer rider, if you're looking for kind of an entry-level or mid-level cruiser and you wanted to get a Victory but you weren't going to get some of the larger baggers or anything like that, this seems like a pretty decent alternative. When you get to the freeway, it's not bad. Like my arms, I actually feel more of the wind in my chest than I do on my actual arms. But it's not bad. It's not any more or less wind buffeting than what I feel on the R1. The steering feels a little bit heavier than some of the other cruisers that I've ridden, but the upside of having a little bit heavier steering is more precise control, because since you got to work a little bit more to get it to do what you want it to do, you're able to have a little bit more control over exactly how you're turning. I gotta say, the brakes on this bike are awesome. For a cruiser, these are awesome brakes. I like this bike. This was really an impromptu ride. We were just looking for something else to ride. So let's see, final thoughts about this bike. I'm not a big fan of the digital RPM gauge, but it does make the dash very simplified. I do like the fact overall that the bike is simple. It's less complications, I think, I'm not into all of the fancy, like, just a lot of the stuff, like, you know, the radio and the heated groups and heated seats, like a lot of the stuff that I envision, I'm just not, I don't really care about. So the simpler design is okay in my book. Solid brakes. Transmission is decent for a cruiser. It felt very confidence inspiring. Low speed felt pretty decent as well. And it's got good power. It makes good noise. It's got a good sounding exhaust on it. I think it's a great bike. If I was looking for, I would say kind of like an entry-level / mid-tier, because some of the entry-level cruisers you could buy are around $8,500, something like that. This being around 10,000, 11,000, you know, is kind of a little bit more expensive, but overall, I think this is a great bike. So yeah, thanks for riding with me today, guys, on the Victory Octane. If you're interested in Victory and you're looking for a cruiser, I think this would be a great fit.